Hi, this is Lucy and welcome to the Solarpunk Farm. This build is not as complicated as it looks. I have used catwalks, but I think you would be able to do this with half and quarter floors. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So for a while now, my Pinterest feed has been showing me Solarpunk things. Solarpunk is basically, if you think of steampunk being Victorian steam engines, it's about using green technology and energy, but futuristic, including technology. So this is my farm. My crops are up in the sky. I'll quickly show you. I tried to make the top look like a sunflower. Obviously we have a door here. You don't actually need this door. It's really only for, well, getting out, I guess. You could fast travel it. You'll see what I mean when we get to the top. So yes, I shot the vertibirds down, not the box, because if you do, then the box explodes and staggers you, as everyone who plays this game knows. That's a dig at someone else. I'll keep that to myself. So the layout is basically the downstairs here. You can actually walk through the thing. It does clip your head if you're not careful. Downstairs we have a workshop. Obviously I have the bottom of this windmill generator. This is Rocky. I'm not a dog person. You probably know by now I'm a cat person. I'm not keen on German Shepherds. I've had a lot of bad experiences, but I do quite like Rottweilers as dogs go. So, although my favourite is English Bull Terrier. On the ground floor we also have an outdoor bathroom. Yeah, we have our mole rat outhouse. I'm wondering what that noise is. It's a turret. Enemies tend to come from that direction or that direction here. I have the grain silo. It's not just decorative. I do in fact have my nice weather machine in here, and I also have a conduit here which is powering the lights in here, because it wouldn't reach from here, because I'm not using a global generator that powers everything. I'm being eco-friendly. I have a shelter here. I had already slightly decorated that one, so I put that one out. We have pheasants. You could put chickens down if you wanted, and we have a brahmin. And yes, she is a pain because she dies, but at least I've got crops to repair her. I carried on with the octagonal theme with the fences. Although it's a bit iffy because they get broken and then I have to manually line them up, and that's happened so many times. So to get upstairs, I've used these catwalks. But I think you might be able to do it with floors. We can have a go when we build it. I wanted to use a different kind of windmill. I tried everything and this was the only one that would work with the build, but obviously it takes up a huge amount of space, so I didn't want to lose the space in here, so I kind of I'm actually completely max budget. I can't put another thing down. I put some boxes up here, but I've also got these little things here This is my bedroom. There is a spare bedroom here. You could take this one off if you wanted and just have one, but I just thought it looked better with two. We go up here. This is the main living area. It's not as highly decorated as I would have liked, but budget. Crops take up a lot of budget. So I put the things that I thought were necessary in. I've got a freezer, I've got a cooker, I've got my food producer, tea. Now, the door I said you didn't need, or the doorway, I made this faux ladder, which is just for aesthetics, you don't need it. There's two ways up here. You can jump up here, but you need a jetpack. And that might give you a clue as to the other way up here. I used a symptomatic. It would be much better if it had a floor, to be honest. It's very weird that it doesn't have... I guess they assumed we'd never see it from underneath. I do not know. So this is my farm. I have honey. I have my apothecary. Carrots. Again, I actually had to take crops out just to get some of the decor I needed in here. I have everything apart from melons, because I pretty much never use melons. Mute fruit. Gourds. The one thing I haven't put out actually is the magic fertilizer thing, but I could probably scrap something for that. We have these solar panels. So yeah, it works. It works for me anyway. And that's the way down. So overall I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So before we start building, I will show you where we are on the map. We are down in what I would generally refer to as the meadow. I usually build over that side, but just fancied a change, I guess. It's quite a large area. I tend to come here from Alpine River Cabins. Hunter's Ridge is here. Point Pleasant, Vault 76 is up here. Right, so let's get on with the build. So we're going to start with a small octagon blueprint. If you don't have this blueprint, I will link down below a video on how to make it with catwalks and a different video on how to make it without. So I kind of need it around here. This area isn't completely flat. Try and get the foundations as low as you can, because obviously this is a tower and there is an upper build limit. Don't need the roofs, so just remove the roofs. Be careful not to remove any of the foundations. You will not get them lined up again. Well, you might do if the walls are on. I suppose they'll snap to the walls. That's a new thing. You'll see when I add the floors. I am going to swap these out. I use Pavilion set. If you don't have it, then just use pillars. You can't access the Pavilion set, I forgot, you can't access the Pavilion set with a doorway. You have to turn it into a flat wall first, otherwise it doesn't appear in the list. It's because there is no doorway. So, well, that technically should be a doorway, shouldn't it? Normally with things like this, I would do them every other thing, but I didn't because of the way that the extension buildings upstairs worked. It just looked odd because of the underpinning roofs. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. So those were Pavilion. Pavilion. No. Why does it move? These were the blue walls. I used the Blue Ridge Outpost walls. If you don't have them, you could just substitute the regular in-game warehouse set. I used the half walls because I actually really like this blue. And these will be... You could just take them off if you don't want to replace them. I do find the replace a bit annoying. So that is the downstairs completed. We're going to want to put floors, upper floors on. And I'm going to start with the middle one. Take a wall, any wall. I'll use this one. You want it sort of facing inwards, although apparently it's refusing. Is that inwards? If you can't get them facing inwards, just put another floor on the back so you can snap a floor in the middle. And then place a full floor here. I used the mesh ones. Leave the wall here because when you go up you're going to want to put another wall on, and it's just easier to snap it if that wall's there. Now, I did struggle with these quite a bit to start with, but I figured out if you line up as if you're going to stick it on the outside, it will just snap into the inside. So go around and add these upper floors. See, the trouble is there's so many snap points that, as I said, this seemed to be the way. You don't want to know how many times I've built and rebuilt this stupid thing. So there we go, there is your first floor. So we're going to add more walls. Now the doorway will be here because it's sort of 2 off the first doorway. It sort of spirals up. So this will be a doorway. For these walls, I think... Can't remember what I used. I'll run out of walls. I have actually scrapped pretty much every piece of furniture. The trouble is, when you're building something, you sometimes use items that as tools, and if you have no budget, you can't build them because your budget is full. So just go around and add whatever walls you want. We are going to have trying to work out where they go. I think one goes here. Actually, we are going to have those floating rooms. One there, one here. Should have counted, should have done a plan, shouldn't I? Never mind. Can't remember if I had any windows in here. Add some windows. To add the rooms, just place a single floor. Half walls all the way around. I think I used windows at the ends. Like so. Top wall arches that way. So those are your floating rooms. I did do these supports underneath them. As you can see here, this is what I meant about the alternating. To get those roofs in, take off this half wall and this half wall. For the supports, I used the red cedar. And I know it's a blue roof, but the build set's called red cedar tile, I think. You can use any roof you want. Red shingle roof, that's what it's called, red shingle. Place it can be tricky. It went, and then of course I moved. If you have no patience and you can't get this in, you can add a flat one and replace and hope that it's facing the right way. No, it's not facing the right way at all. Oh, right. So we want to turn it 90 degrees that way. I don't know if it works or not. I couldn't see. No, it went 180. Right. Now it should go up, hopefully. Right, once you got that one on, it's not actually that easy with this roof. I do wonder if it would be easier with a different roof. It's because it's got this lip, I think. I mean, it's probably just going to be tricky, whatever you do. And you can just snap. Snap this one on. Or again, just put a flat one on. Yay, finally. Yeah, that is honestly, until I figured out how to put the upper floors on, that was the most annoying thing about this build. But this is definitely very annoying. See if we can move this roof. Oh, I don't know which way it's going now. We'll put another flat one on. At least we know that now that the lines have to go in this direction. Right, we've got a 50-50 chance. It's always the wrong one. You will, if you do this a lot, you will know it's always going to be the wrong one. So, right, we got our supports on. Get rid of this roof, store it, because we will need to do this again later. Put our walls back. We're going to put a roof on here, exactly the same as last time. That wall is over the other wall. With this one, you could always, it's wanting to, it will actually snap there, so just put one in there. Oh no, it moved. Oh, okay, interesting. I think I put these on last time before Oh, that one's the wrong way around. Doesn't matter. It's... been trying to keep the pattern going the same way. No, actually it's fine. It's fine. So that is that. We need one more story with walls. The doorway will be here. For this one, I think I put windows all the way around the top. Like so, and we need to rinse and repeat. We don't actually need a floor in the middle this time. I could not get the symptomatic to work. I assumed that I would be able to select the symptomatic through the mesh floor, but I couldn't. So even if I kind of lowered it, it just was interfering. So just put the upper floor on like as before. I don't know why this one is being... There we go. Right. Now this is the floor with our crop plots. So put the crop plots... Well, they're now called upper floor garden. Okay. Go on. Go on in the right place. And this one, where the exit is, we're just going to put a half floor. Like so. We can put the roofs on here. I didn't do it earlier. We could have. I was worried it would interfere with the upper floors. For the crop area, I used the Rustic greenhouse set. Make sure when you're placing these that you are placing them, because they're 2 floors, it can snap to the outer one. We want to make sure it's snapped to the inside, and it can be a real pain. If you've got gaps, it's almost certainly snapped to the outer one. One thing I will say about this, if you actually want this to grow lots of crops, I mean, obviously you can sacrifice some of the decoration, sacrifice the brahmin, who is pretty much a giant pain in the butt, the bathroom. I have not lost any crops. None of my crops got destroyed, so it does work in that respect from actually keeping your crops safe. Half walls all the way around. Top wall arches. Just going to do them this. Whoops. Oh, did it go on? Yeah, it did. So I was worried it would have gone on the wrong place. Do one side and then the other. Right. I think they're all done. I used the Rustic Helvetia roof for these. As I said, I wanted it to look like a flower. Use whatever you want. Use whatever you have. I mean, if you wanted an extra crop plot, you could put one in here, but you'll probably get angry people who can't leave. You can actually, in a lot of cases, just fast travel back to your camp. Or if you're very close to a spawn point, it's quite often 0 caps to travel. I have realised, although I didn't put a floor in the middle here, we are going to carry this wall up because can't tell which way around these are going. Come on. You should snap to... oh, there we go. I don't need it there. I will need it here to get the glass roof on. I did find with this that I could not put... part of the reason I did it this way, I did various different things, was that it wouldn't let me put an upright roof any further up because it said it was out of the build. But actually it will. Oh, I think it was... I originally had a roof that was domed like that, and then the one in the middle wouldn't go in, the flat one, because the bottom part was in the build area of this slope roof, but the top part wasn't. So when you try and put a flat roof to cover the hole, it wouldn't go in. So I decided to do the roof like this. If you've ever seen a sunflower with all those sort of seed pods in the middle, that was kind of what I was trying to emulate. So, whoops. Am I going up and down? When you get close to the top of the build area, it can get a bit difficult to sort of navigate. And this is also a giant pain. But you can do it! You can do it. I don't know which way round they're going. I think we're going okay. We're doing alright. Just trying to make sure that they are going in the same direction. Come on, you little... It's always the last one. And there we go. We have our roof on. Right. We need to get those... staircases on. I did replace all of these cement foundations. I used the... Tikki wood stilt foundation. I just like the floor. If you don't have it, just use a wood foundation. You could use upper floors. The only thing I would say is if you've got your foundations low, you will not get a wall underneath. So I'll show you how I did it, and then we'll try doing it without the catwalks. I use these fortress wall walks. I don't know what's going on with this thingy at the moment. Now, no, something's going wrong with this. I had this problem earlier. I'm going to quickly, before I do anything else, I'm going to change the placement to free, because you can't change it when you've got a stored item. So place your catwalk so that it's level with the doorway, like so. Might need to come up slightly. And then take one of these corner pieces and place it so that it's intersecting. I tried to get that line to line up with the end of the catwalk. It doesn't have to be perfect. Grab a staircase. I used these wooden ones and line this up. And if you think that this is not wide enough, you can just pull it out a bit. It's completely up to you. I also added a corner piece down here because obviously this staircase is kind of floating like that, and that was how I got up there. I did wonder if we could do it with half floors and quarter floors, so we'll give it a go. Obviously with the floors you should be able to snap the halves on like so. If we then take a quarter, we need to go into free place and place it at an angle like so. Obviously the patterns aren't matching, but it doesn't matter. I mean, also if you want you could use the mesh ones. Completely up to you. And then add a staircase. Oh, we need another thingy on the end there. Scorchus interruptus. Might need to pull this one out slightly. I have noticed with this object rotation quite often I log in and it says object rotation, but it still makes me go up and down, so I have to go to vertical movement and back to object rotation. It is extremely annoying. Just so you know, Bethesda. Not that they ever listen to me, but and we need a corner on here, whichever you want to do if you have the catwalks. Like so. Should we see if we can actually go up and down these? Yay! We need to get rid of those walls. I haven't forgotten. Yeah, it works. It works. There's a bit of a gap there, but yeah, I mean, just fine tune it. I think it would look better actually with the wood, but for me, but whatever you want. I did carry on the walkway around here. I'll carry on with the floors. I'm going to go back to snap, because then I can just snap them on and then just put these pieces. Oh, however you want to do it, really. There isn't a staircase on this part, so you could just do it like this. Did a very bad job of lining this up. There we go. I put my faux ladder there. So that all works, whichever you want, catwalks or floors. I have these extra walls I don't need, so I'm just going to take them out. I did put solar panels in the top, and obviously we put our symptomatic in there. Right, oh, it's doing this thing again. This is a new bug! What is going on? It won't place now, it's got that wheel. Right. Right, at the moment I have, because this was a stored item, I can't change the placement. I'm going to change it to collide. And I'm just going to, I might have to free place it. I don't know. Will it not float if it's in collide mode? Just try and line it up. Which I'm doing a bad job of again. But there we go. Line it up with the hole. I put solar panels in. And I kind of place them turned outwards. Yep, these will need to be free placed. Or do it before you put the roof on is the other option. Because I think these are stored again, I'm going to have to change the position, and I just sort of place them around the symptomatic, sort of facing outwards. I can't really see. You get the idea anyway. So I think actually it might be easier to do it from up here. One here. One here. So they were sort of equidistant around, 4 of them. I wired them up and then I put a power connector on the floor and connected them all to that. So all of the electrics were actually done using the solar panels and the generator. Obviously we need to put these underpinnings on again. Yay. So as before, I don't want to do it again. Go around and place, oh, I need to be in snap, there we go. Place a roof like so. Realise that whichever one you pick, it will always be the wrong way round. And do your underpinnings like that. I'm going to take all of these off. There isn't one where the door is, and there isn't one, well, where either door is. Yay, that one was in the right direction. Put all your windows back in once you've got all of these on. Make sure that the windows are actually, I did have a problem in this place. You see there's a gap. The reason is that these are snapping to the roof and not the wall below. So make sure that you pull them all in. If you have gaps, they're in the wrong place. I mean, if you have big visible gaps. Got one over here. There we go. Right, not a lot else. The bathroom, I just placed it here. I just used, I think it went maybe one more back. Right. Slightly different place here, obviously. Wherever you want, I just lined it up with this back wall. Or actually, maybe it was offset by one. I cannot remember. You might have to raise the foundations if you have this problem. Like so. I put a mesh upper floor on here to let water through for your shower. The toilet, I think it was still a little bit high. I ended up merging it on a rock, on a pressure plate, so I could lower it. Right, let's just place it. Oh, it's doing this again. If I press X, if I try and change the placement when I have, oh no, we're okay. It will go down far enough. Just go into free place mode. There we go. That is that. I did add some steps. I think this is actually lower than my last one. I did add some steps. I used wooden steps. I think I actually used the Tikki one. Going up and down again. One there, and I think I put one here. Although these are so low, you probably don't actually need it. This can't be right. I have realised that this was where I originally put the windows, but obviously you can't see them with the underpinnings, so I think I swapped them out so that the windows were at the bottom and the plain walls were at the top. So whichever you prefer. I mean, you do get some light without anyone looking in. So, whatever you want. Forgot. Like so. I think that's right. I don't know if I made them all windows. I can't honestly remember. Could go look, but whatever you want, really. It's completely up to you. The only thing I think I have left is the brahmin pen. The way I made the brahmin pen is quite simple. Once you've placed, if you don't have this blueprint, place the blueprint and then take a copy of it, blueprint it again placed. It just gives you a rough octagonal and then just sort of line it up roughly with the selected item is floating. Great. I don't know if this is interfering. I'll just take this out for a sec. You don't want it to snap. Well, actually, maybe you do want it to snap. Is it trying to snap? It will snap, but it won't snap where you want it to snap. So you can raise it up slightly. It should be fine. Eventually, you'll get it down. And this is just take the walls off. We're just using this as a guide. It does not have to be perfect. And turn snapping off of, which I can't do because I'm in stored. Oh, Collide is still trying to, right, free place. Obviously I wasn't as sometimes it does not take the change until after you drop it and pick it back up. Obviously this is a bit further away than I would have liked. Just place don't forget you want one to be a gate. Just line up and place your fences like so. Obviously on mine it actually met the wall. I think these foundations are lower than the one I built. Don't forget to add a gate. Then just get rid of the foundations and you have an octagonal fence. If, like me, you have a gap, you can always put another fence in there if you want. Let's put this back. It's getting dark. I'm in the way. I'm hanging off the edge there. Oh. Just put this back. Attempt to quickly. Nothing about this build, I'm afraid, is very quick. It's all about sort of minutely moving stuff and constantly going up and down because Bethesda hate us. There we go. Anyway, to get the generator in, it was simply placed in free place mode. I am going to place it first on the ground so that I can change. Oh, it was actually free. Oh well, never mind. Check the and change the positioning and just place it like so, and that is pretty much it. I didn't use any wallpaper. I didn't change the floors from the base floors other than the Tikki foundations. I know it's getting dark. I'm almost finished. I'm almost finished. Doors. I used the red rocket door. You can obviously use whatever you have, whatever you want. Just wanted something a bit... Right, I haven't got snapping on. Go the other way. Oh, go the other way? There we go. And up here, I think I used the clinic door. It's under the wooden doors, I believe. I think I used this one, abandoned clinic door. And I think that's everything. Obviously, put your turrets in more appropriate places. I just put them up there because while I was building, I didn't have to build anything and they weren't on the ground. Overall, I'm really happy with this. I really like this build. It's certainly something a bit different anyway. And if you want to grow crops, it's ideal. I do find the kind of whining noise of that slightly annoying, but yeah. But it's kind of pretty. It certainly has visual impact. So anyway, no wallpaper. No catwalks if you don't have them. You can do it without. I hope you like the build. I hope you have fun with it. If you don't want to grow crops, you could do something else with the upstairs. You could put trees up there. I saw an illustration of a Solarpunk house that had trees growing out of the top of it. So whatever you fancy. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.